This story is somehow very controversial. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the death of Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom. She died at age 96. So you're talking about almost 1 century of life and 70 years on the throne as a queen. She became queen back in 1952 at age 25 when her father, King George VI, passed away. Now, may she rest in peace and prayers out to the family. And as I said from the beginning, this is a very controversial story. Let's start with the first things first, the reactions to her death. Oh man, they've been all over the place. They called her a murderous, dictator, tyrant, colonizer, white supremacist devil. Some say they loved her. She was the queen, and they're saddened and they're crying and they're heartbroken. They got to mourn. There's all those reactions on social media, on TV, even MSNBC. They're saying false things, they're saying true things, and a little bit of everything in between. Now, how do I feel about it? I'm not necessarily invested into the monarchy of the Kingdom of Great Britain or UK. That's not really something I'm interested in. And you see my appearance, what I have on. I'm not trying to spite the queen, talking about we don't care and it's 1776. I do care about America, obviously. This is just how I dress all the time. But I'm not necessarily trying to spite her directly. But I will say that we're not a colony of the Kingdom of Great Britain anymore. We are the USA. That's just an obvious fact. But I'm not saying that to be hateful. I'm just saying it as a fact. So I'm more interested in America, not necessarily UK and their ways of living. But it is a story that has garnered a lot of attention, and I'm going to give my 2 cents on it. As I said, she's been around for a very long time. She became queen back 70 years ago when her father passed away. And the reason why she became the queen is because line of succession only works with blood. So her father was married to a woman, I suppose, right? But that woman would never be the queen. She could only be like a princess or something like that because she's not blood. You see how that goes? So the king, he's blood. The queen is not. They have children. Now their children have the blood from the royal lineage of the father. And if it was the other way around, if it was the mother who had the lineage, then the kids, it'll still be the same thing. Whoever has a lineage that passed down to the kids, then they have basically like full blood. If they marry somebody like what Prince Harry did with Meghan Markle obviously would never be the queen or anything like that because she doesn't have the blood, right? So let's just put that right there. So she has children, of course, and the oldest child is Charles. So he's now the king, King Charles III. He's 73 years old. I mean, good night. You're talking about waiting your whole life for this moment, but he's now the king. Now, I think the way it works is the oldest child's kids are next in line, not his siblings or her siblings. That's the way it works. Because I think the queen's sister is still living. Was it Princess Margaret? Has she died? I don't think so. I'm not really sure. But if she was still living, it wouldn't make a difference because it'd be her kids that come up next. So now you have King Charles III, and after him, you have his kids. Now, this is kind of interesting. This is a little bit of the controversy right here. Princess Diana. Oh, we got to bring Princess Diana up. Princess Diana was King Charles' first wife. Okay. Now, she died or was killed or whatever you want to call it in 1997. Okay. Now, if she was still living, she would essentially be the queen, but not the queen. She'll still be Princess Diana, but she would be right next to the king. That's how that would work. Now, Princess Diana's children include Harry and William. Harry is a guy who left the throne with Meghan Markle to go do podcasts in LA, which was ridiculous. That's crazy. But although he was in a line of succession, he would never be the king because you have his older brother. He'll be the king first. And then his children, they would be king or queen after him. It wouldn't ever be Harry. Harry would just be kind of like doing royal duties, visiting countries, things like that. He would never be the actual king. But Princess Diana could have been right there next to the king. Now, some say that she was killed by the queen because she was just doing too much. That's a whole big story right there. I don't know about all that. If you guys know more about that, y'all let me know in the comments. But that's one point of contention, one point of controversy. Then the second point is the whole issue of colonialism, because obviously the Kingdom of Great Britain, the British Empire, they were all over the world. They had what is now the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Jamaica, a lot of the Caribbean islands, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, parts of Africa, all over Africa. They colonized like a really big chunk of the world. They probably were the biggest colonizers ever. But see, people are mad at the queen, but what they don't understand is the queen reigned over the period of decolonization. You see, they're more mad at her bloodline than they are mad at her. They're mad at people that came in the 1700s and whatnot, not her. Under her reign was decolonization. A lot of nations gained their independence, Nigeria, Jamaica, etc., during the time when the queen was on the throne. So if you're upset at colonialism, if you're upset at what the Kingdom of Great Britain did, you should be thankful to her, or at least in her reign, for that slowly coming to an end. Now, am I saying that they operated perfectly afterward? No, I'm not. We're talking about colonialism. I mean, she was there during the period of decolonialism. That's just a fact. And also about colonialism, why only be mad at the Kingdom of Great Britain or UK for what they did? How about what's going on right now with China? Do you not understand that China is colonizing? China they're imperialists. Japan was imperialist. China's imperialist right now because what's Taiwan? Taiwan is technically part of China, according to China. Now, if we say that they're not and we want to go try to liberate them, there's going to be a war right there. How about places like, Hong Kong? See, that's something else. Hong Kong at one point was a British protectorate, and it was like 100 years lease. Because I think for 100 years, they belonged to Kingdom of Great Britain. The lease expired under Queen Elizabeth, and then it went back to China. And here's the point I want to make about that. Let's just answer some of these questions honestly. I don't want to get too deep into feelings and whatnot. Let's just be honest. Do you think that every nation that the United Kingdom or Great Britain or whatever colonized was better off without them or with them? Understand this. Hong Kong was part of Great Britain, essentially. They were governed by them. Then when they went back to China, it was a protest. Free Hong Kong to go back to who? To go back to Great Britain or to China? Because again, when the lease was over, they went from the Great Britain back to China, or from the UK back to China. So which one was better? There was protests to stop that whole transference. Overall, I'm not really moved to tears or moved to anger. I'm like, okay, she passed away. And now it's like, okay, what do we do? What's going to be the next thing? Is it going to be any kind of power struggle in UK? I don't think so. Because from what I can tell, the monarchy is largely symbolic. They don't have any, there may be some governing powers to a certain extent, but the UK has a parliamentary system of government. They have a prime minister and whatnot and mayors and all that good stuff. So it's not like you could just go and have a scepter and just rule by fiat as a king. That's not really how that works. But as I close, I want to say this. May she rest in peace. May the queen rest in peace. And to those who are upset or whatever, I want to hear you guys' reaction. If you're upset or you're sad or you're happy or whatever it is, I want to hear your reaction in the comments below. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about the queen's death, age 96, 70 years on the throne? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys should pretty much know where I'm at. I think that whoever looked up to the queen, whoever is the queen's family, friends, or whatever, hey, my heart goes out to you. But personally, I'm not necessarily moved to either anger or happiness or anything like that. To me, it's more of a matter of fact type situation. And I want to see it from a facts, figures, what's next, how does it impact the world. I'm interested in that rather than any kind of emotional, personal thing, because that isn't really here. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.